Okay, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us. We will, of course, be getting into our final game of the evening as Zold up against Nuclear Storm Gaming. Just to mention quickly, of course, our MVP for that previous game was Vixen. Be sure to follow at the UKEL on Twitter. You guys can get amongst it and you can vote for the overall MVP. We kind of put forward the MVP of every game, and then, at the end of every week, there is a Twitter poll to decide on the overall MVP, as well as, voting on who you think is going to win each game and things like that. And coming straight into this one, I think this is going to be a real tough matchup for NSG. If we're talking about who's going to win, maybe alluding there towards Absolved. I don't know how you feel about this one. Maybe they can, prove me wrong, but I think Absolved have got a pretty good shoe in here.
Yeah, it's hard for me to give much to NSG in this matchup, to be totally honest with you. Absolved have looked really damn good. It's almost kind of a mismatchup, I feel. I kind of feel like it might be that bad today. Maybe there's something NSG do that surprises us all, and maybe it comes out of the draft, maybe it's some kind of cheese strat in-game, and it really just throws Absolved off, but I don't know, man. NSG, gameplay-wise, some of their drafting decisions have been pretty questionable, though, to my disdain, the one questionable draft that I flamed the most, they won with, so who knows? In the world of analysis, it can be quite strange. Do see Absolved winning these games more often than not.
Yeah, certainly. They obviously yet to drop a game, looking really, really good straight out of the gate, and we're a few weeks in now, starting to get more solidified with their position, and they have taken on some of the stronger names as well. It's not like they've maybe rinsed some of those teams towards the bottom of the tier lists and whatnot. They've taken out some pretty decent teams, and Tyron has looked really, really good across the board, I think, most of the weeks, but the whole team has just come together beautifully. Meanwhile, NSG, for me, another team that I have not seen a great deal of, so it will be interesting. Obviously just got basic statistics and whatnot, but as yet to cast them, get a full-on game. But either way, we are into the draft phase of course picks and bans coming through. Nothing too unorthodox as yet in terms of the bans.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Of course, as well, because we are on 10.4, there's been pretty much a complete absence of Soraka, thank the Lord. There will be more or less no more Soraka top. I'm not sure if it was brought up in the first two games, but I'm bringing it up here. So that is why you have probably noticed a pretty big absence compared to last week. But Cassiopeia and Syndra are going to be the last stand. So again, red side teams in the final two games of today have learned that Syndra's a pretty powerful first pick, but when you're red side and you're not banning Ornn, it can be a little bit problematic. It could more or less force NSG into picking up Braum in their first two. Is the additional counter to stopping the long range engage. But in fact, the other one, the Yasuo, the opted in choice here. So I would honestly like to just see an early Gragas lock-in. If you're just gonna go ahead and go balls deep like this and lock in the Yasuo in 1-2, I would like to just see it paired up immediately with Gragas. On the flip side, there's not too many other things they could do. Apparently Set is high up on the list of priorities for NSG, so taking that one away, I feel like that one's a little bit questionable, but we'll have to wait and see what the finished product is. NSG, like I said, I flamed one of their previous drafts, and to be fair, it wasn't the best script. It wasn't great. They may have counterpicked themselves 2 or 3 times,
right?
Really, really badly. But they ended up winning, so hey.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes, it does work out. There's an argument to be made going for your comfort picks, and things like that, things that have worked out really well for you in solo queue. Set, you can, obviously ult off the Facebreaker. I don't think you can ult off the suplex as Yasuo.
I believe so. It makes them untargetable as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you can't. But off his E, right, you can. It's very brief, all the same. It depends where the set ends up going as well. Generally would expect the top side, but not far into the jungle either. The Braum going to get picked up, as you had said. So there's actually quite a bit of keeping Ornn away coming through.
A lot of focus on the Ornn. I feel like the Braum is potentially a little bit overkill here. I feel like considering Absolved decided to go ahead and show the Zyra Khan, there were better options up, right? You could have gone for Leona. I saw the Alistar hover, and I think that would have been a really damn good lock-in right here.
Yeah, for the Rakan.
It has an okay matchup, especially early on into Zyra Khan. But opting into the Braum, dealing with the Feathers and, of course, the Call of the Forge God. So, just leaning more on what they're comfortable with dealing with. Sejuani ban makes a lot of sense. 2 melee or attacking champions with a Braum, you don't want to deal with a Sejuani. On the other side, though, NSG opting in to banning goes Orianna and Ryze. So, actually opting to leave open his Irelia, which it wouldn't surprise me to see Irelia locked in here. And depending on what NSG lock, if NSG lock in Jarvan, I feel like Absolved might just go Karthus Irelia. So I'm kind of hoping NSG don't get baited. Okay, alright. That I like. That's good. It's blind, so it's a little scarier, but in terms of what Tyron's actually capable of picking into it, I don't think there's too many things off the top of my head that has a really good time at dealing with the Karthus. So I actually really do like the Karthus takeaway here. But looking now towards Absolved, I mean, I still think, oh yeah, all right, do that. I kind of like the idea of Zac. It gives them a little more engaged. Not that they need it anyway. And then they can just stack it with, I mean, with a comp like this, they're looking for primarily front-to-back fights, so maybe something like an Azir would actually be kind of cool. I don't know if Thomasgo plays it, but definitely looking for a control mage. They need a little... I mean, they've got Ornn, they've got Zac, but I don't think it's enough magic damage. So I'm expecting either Irelia or a front-to-back control mage. Azir, there you go! That's exactly
this is why you do the color, dude. This is why you do the color.
This is why I do the color. So Azir locked in. Azir locked in. It has a good matchup into both Set and Yasuo, which Set is actually it's a flex. It can go into mid, it can go into top.
Yeah.
So it has a good matchup into both. They need a front-to-back team fight. The Azir makes the most sense. And all right. Okay.
I mean, you can kind of see where it's coming. First of all, obviously, the name really does give away it's a huge comfort pick, I guess. I suppose the true damage into the Ornn, into the Zac, but like short range against this team is kind of dangerous. And then also Vayne at the moment just takes a bit too long, I think, right? If you're going to play someone who needs to scale, you might as well just hit the Ezreal, like.
Griff, I'm disappointed, man. I can't hide it. I'm really sad. I mean, looking down the ADC options, there weren't really a whole bunch left that would have fit this team comp too well. Actually, what am I talking about? They could have locked in Ezreal. Ezreal would have done a fine job here. But, I mean, Vayne God, he's the Vayne God. So he's locking in his most comfortable champion, quite apparently. Second time, now where I feel like the Vayne pick could have just, been thrown to the wayside, pick up something a little more orthodox. But I'm loving the look of Absolved's comp right here. It has, again, like the previous Viperio draft, a lot of innate scaling, but so does the NSG side too. I mean, Vayne, Yasuo, Karthus, these aren't champions that just magically fall off after 2 items. The complete opposite. These guys come online, as soon as they hit the 2 item spike, Karthus, I mean, realistically, all it takes is 1 kill for Karthus to get going, and he will just run away with that momentum. Whereas Absolved, they definitely do need to wait a little while. Azir is kind of a 3 item sort of champion, and you could even argue the same thing for Xayah. So I would expect a really slow early game again. I'm sorry, Scriv. We're in for another Resident Sleeper. So. On the bright side, it means we get to podcast a little more, but... Yeah,
indeed. So just talk about the general goings-on of the game on the champions that they're picking. But I do like it, because, these are 2 teams, I think Absolved, they have their kind of game plan, they go for it, and they do it really well. Particularly with, Tyron. He likes to play what he's comfortable on, rather than just kind of slaving. Meanwhile, on the NSG side, I mean, their whole comp is just like... you know, I fancy playing Bane or I fancy playing Set. And it's like, all right, dude, no one's going to stop you here. We're happy to just go with the flow rather than, but these are the 5 champions that, you know, are meta right now. You're not allowed to play anything else kind of thing. And you can see some teams kind of, maybe not so much on the top side of the map, but certainly like the jungle and the bot side at the moment, there is less flexibility, I think, than a lot of players would like. So I can kind of see where they're coming from in that sense.
Yeah, and I mean, even what could have been kind of nice was Yasuo going into the bottom lane. Like, just, I'm gonna pick on NSG.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm angry, alright? I'm angry. I can't hide it.
Yeah, of course.
Yasuo and Braum would have been really damn impressive into Zyra Khan. As Dano stacking up his tornado early, but and then it would have given them the room to look for a better matchup in mid. I mean, Yasuo doesn't have a terrible time, but it's not a nice lane all of the time. If the Azir knows how to pilot the champion, which in Go's case, I think it is one of his comfort picks. So happy to obviously take it in the situation, and junglers opting more or less probably for a full clear. Karthus is Karthus. And Zach realistically wants to hit level 4 before he even thinks about touching a lane, so don't expect too much jungle action for probably the first 5 minutes or so. But like I said, it gives us a little more time to podcast and maybe talk about some of the lanes in detail.
Yeah. So I was gonna kind of ask, although we're seeing an engage coming in here, I'm not quite sure. It's a level 1 that they're winning, I guess. But
it's just strength of Zyra Khan, but yeah. This is duo. It's a duo, but hit me with the question.
Yeah, no. So I was just kind of towards this top side. How do you feel like the set into the Ornn? I feel maybe have to hold it again because we're going to see another engage coming in here. Passive onto Rakan, and then that kind of means let's back away. But very early on the bot side, getting aggressive. Okay, still not over yet, by the way. Yep. They're actually just Zach going all in on the 2v2. Okay. So Zach was going to be coming in from behind them. Did see him on the minimap. I was wondering what he was kind of doing.
Yeah, and I wonder if
a bit of a mess.
The visuals there actually showed, because, I mean, NSG have a ward on the top side, so they know the blue buff's still up, and when Zach doesn't show right here, I feel like NSG can make a calculated guess and say, based on the aggression of Gordon Regan, Zach was probably around, so he gets himself a free blue buff, and I mean, man, alright, well. Karthus is probably gonna. Karthus is getting a full free quadra clear, and I mean, the gank's gonna be dissuaded.
That is massive from Imported Chicken. I like it. It was on to 2, of course, the flash back coming in. Vingar got to be careful, but brilliant reaction from him to just immediately TP down there. Really did feel like they were forcing that fight in the bot side for quite some time.
Yeah, and I
particularly
don't quite
after no flash on the Zarya after the engage where it failed.
Wait a minute. Alright, I hope we come out of this replay and Tyron actually died to Krogs, but as you can see, TP came back.
Oh no! Oh god! Regan just flashes for good measure. Oh my goodness.
But
I mean, we're both just
okay. All right.
It's you've got to kite them around. I think when you're on that HP, you didn't quite respect, right? He's got to kite them around each other, so he doesn't get smacked by both.
Big Krug was angry. That's what happened right here. Regan also
just the icing on the cake, innit, really?
Yeah, the Flash really sealed it for me. I wonder if he was, and this would be the funny one, I bet he was actually missing pinging Tyron for dying to,
yeah, maybe.
to the Krogs, and he just hits his F key instead. But, a little more seriousness now, back into the game. One thing of note, Karthus has already got access to Requiem.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, that's a 5.5 minute level 6. That's something you don't see these days. So, to say Karthus is ahead would be more than an understatement.
He's like double his. He's nearly 30 farm on him.
I mean, he's got the most CS in the game
now. Yeah.
You
may as well just keep doing this, right? Like, just keep clearing and like just wait and get his Oblivion Orb, get his Sword Shoes by like 10 minutes, and then blow them up. Like,
I don't understand. Okay, all right.
They're really forcing this bot side here. Yeah, so we're going to see another engage here. Hopefully this one will be a bit more successful. I mean, Slingshot does land. Kill onto Vayngod. He's got no summoners at all. Braum is able to make it out, so not the end of the world. But it is something. Finally, their attention towards this bot side pays off. And actually, yeah, to be fair, a massive wave there is going to be caught by the Xayah. So...
All right, so it all works out in the end. It's a lot. It's actually a lot. They freeze the wave, so Vayne's actually going to miss a lot of CS. He, of course, as well did die. Didn't end up blowing any summon spells. And looks like NSG going to attempt the dragon. So this is one of the few times where I don't like dragon too much. But given the jungle lead right now, I kind of get it. And I swear, if Tyron tries to steal this... All right. He done it the right way. He did. Oh, wait.
Oh no! The Yas is able to get the knock up. The last breath comes through. Able to move forward there. The Braum taking onto him. That's pretty nice to see. The kill comes in for the Yas. Tyron coming around the side with the rest of the boys as Rojo Joe seems to have TP'd down. Oh, massive wombo combo. Requiem going to come in. I don't know whether it really finds anyone. It might set up. Yeah, it does set up Tyrion. Vayngod coming forwards, able to find the kill. Yes. Okay, this starts to get a bit more interesting now. Regan as well can't really get anything done. Oh, hits the level up, and the Ornn does save in the end. I think he was dead to rights there anyway. Yeah. My goodness, the Call of the Forge God into the Shurima shuffle.
Yeah, that was a combo. That was a combo. And more importantly, actually, the initial call-in of the Call of the Forge God, the Brill was procced by the wall too, so it's why it ended up being so much damage. The Braum Shield was the wrong way around, so it's why the feathers actually connect onto all the members. But at the end of the day, gold still does drop. But take a look at the damage that comes out from the Azir and the Brill proc together. Boom. Boom. What a combo.
Disco Dano as well, right? His wind wall, I think he tried to stop it initially. There's now going to be made that should have saved it, but benefit of hindsight, really, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And Vayngod, Pillar, drops him in the end. And nice TP as well from Rojo Jojo. Have to applaud that. Yeah. I think it was the ward on top of the dragon. Recognizing, import chicken, no TP, so it was always going to be a 4v4. And Absolved finally gets something back after that. Pretty, in my opinion, despite the lack of kills, disastrous early game as Vayngod's pressed his R key.
Okay.
Vayngod has been knocked up.
This is painful to watch in places, really.
Just
it's a bit of a weird one. It's like, the NSG AD gets 6, but then it's the Absolved support getting 6. It's all over the place at the moment, really.
It's a little bit all over the place, and Thomas Go is looking for the skull crab.
This is his, surely.
Oh, baby. All right.
Easy steal.
Karthus is mad. Karthus is molding. You already know. That's a better mid wins in chat. That's
true.
Exactly what that is. But I'm just curious, could we get a gold to... Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Wait, hold on. All right, there's no downtime in this game, unfortunately.
There's no downtime in this game. We said it was going to be a scaling game, little did I know.
But no.
Yeah, so... there's the gold toggle. Karthus is 1,000 gold up on Zac. Comically, just a little bit under Vayngod's gold total. So to say Karthus is chilling with... Well, he's very happy with this game, as Spooks is...
Oh, God.
Doing something in-game. Okay, screw.
Oh, Tyron moving in. What is going on? Tyron's passive is going to be proc. The TP coming through here from Import Chicken. Regan moves in. Nicely timed on the knockup. The Emperor's Divide goes the wrong way. Tyrion eventually goes down. Oh, goodness.
All right, I'm glad after last game we get to cast a game like this, and I'm also glad it's the last game of the day.
To be fair.
You know, it's been a while since I've showed my face on the UKEL to cast. I think maybe sometime during playoffs is the last time during the last season, and I think every time I casted the last game of the day, it was a bit of a fiesta like this. So
yeah, I
don't even know
man.
why.
I feel like maybe
I don't know why.
Maybe Absolved are in this position where they're like, we're looking really good. Let's just have a bit of fun with this one. Although Tyron is starting to soften, maybe like dying to Krugs, 1v3 jumping in. You know, I don't know, man.
I commend him for it. I think he feels like he's walked far enough forward.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's not a complete.
It's not like a complete,
fluff.
you know, monkey run it down moment. He just felt like he was close enough to cast it backwards. Doesn't quite find the connection though. And I mean, this is kind of another weird fight. Again, Absolved kind of seem a little bit lost in terms of what they want to do with the early game. We look at how much time Tyron invested into the bottom side, and I mean,
them to just not really do anything.
I think he's safe in this one. I think.
Yeah, this time
it's pretty
he's
close. I'm not gonna lie, but. All right, yes. Little ones maybe.
All right.
No, he's safe. He's safe. Oh fuck. T-Tools right here. T-Tools. I love it. T-Tools. Fun time. All right, thank you, Joe, for he did it. He did it,
boys. He did it.
Krugs, sorry. Done red, and NSG pick up the first 2 dragons, and it is the Mountain Rift this time out. You'd say NSG are honestly NSG are just close to what do you call it? 2 dragons out. I've lost it. You know, I'm.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, man. That is absolutely fair enough.
I've seen quite the early game, so 2 dragons
just
away
kind
now.
Of losing brain cells.
Yeah, 2 dragons away from the soul. And I mean, in this game, it's not as impactful as the last. There's no major front line. So it's more or less just the shield. But it can deny stuff as Dano. Just looking for a nice little trade as we actually see the rotation coming in from Sweden now Spooks.
This
just to drop the Herald and
could be interesting to be fair. He's kind of trapped in.
Yeah, he's a little bit trapped. I mean, he's got help coming in.
Okay.
And they could actually look to turn it. Yeah, Swede. Force the flash out here. Don't go too far forward, please, Tyron, for the umpteenth time. But
yeah.
Also NSG kind of winning out in the mid lane too. Picking up some plates there as Emperor's Divide tumbled away from.
Gould as well, got to be careful. No mana to really do anything. Does indeed, you know, avoid most of the damage. The Requiem coming through, not able to find anyone as yet, but, you know, chips and chips of damage. I think did the channel get cancelled maybe towards the end by the Ornn? I'm not entirely sure. It felt like it didn't do any damage. Either way, Vanguard coming in, finds Tyron, traded back as the Carthus will fall. Huge last breath. He just takes it. He just goes for it. Flashes out as well. Beautiful stuff. Got to be careful here, though. Nice flash from the Braum. The Azir is looking to continue the push forwards here. But it is a 4v3, technically speaking, so they do need to be a bit careful. But yeah, it will be interesting to see, because I feel like the Requiem did get cancelled, which could actually have made a huge difference here in the end.
Yeah, I had my eyes
but I guess we'll find out.
On not Carthus and not Absolved members. So
yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. Yeah, so he's towards the top side.
So he starts
going down. There's no one near him.
No. It comes down. I guess it just... Okay. No, it dealt fair. Oh, no, it just dealt no damage.
Yeah. What the heck, man?
How peculiar. Then extended fight.
Or does he just not have any damage? Like,
oh, no,
feels a bit weird.
It's 3-player the initial fight. So yeah, big dunk comes down. Vanguard. Golden's up. Requiem. Yeah, it's not late game Carthus quite yet. We'll
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I guess as well the heal comes out from Gould, which, you know, negates most of it.
Yeah, it definitely does, but take a look at this.
I do respect this from Dan though, yeah.
Dano actually... Okay, so I'm going to say that wasn't intentional, cool. But he cast the Q as the Condemn was flying, And as he traveled in Ard, the tornado actually ended up coming out as he was in the last breath animation. It knocked up. I want to say it was Reagan, but it was someone that was 100 HP. Caught them in the last breath too. That's who he ends up actually getting kill credit on, not the person he condemned initially, and managed to flash out with his life. So slick little play right there.
And that Yasuo tech.
Yeah, nice little Yasuo tech. Again, I'll give him the benefit now. It was entirely intentional. Dano's quite the Yasuo player. I think it's one of his more play champions actually. So I do meme a little bit, but he is definitely comfortable on the champion. But
do we feel Set kind of wins this the whole game through in the side lane, or I suppose it'll probably get to a point where the Ornn can just like run away and not die.
Yeah, but it's certainly Set has a much easier time into Ornn than Aatrox does. As taking a look at the gold values now, as Karthus has now ballooned his gold lead to a little bit under 2,000 gold, and the other big differential is Vayne having so much gold over gold as looking for an engage.
Yeah, indeed. The TP coming behind there. The quickening only manages to get the Braum. In comes the Vayne as well. The catch onto the Ornn has to flash away. And nothing coming, but a lot burnt, I suppose.
Yeah, so this is the thing with Yasuo and Braum
Dragon,
being present on the other team, as it looks like Absolved and NSG are looking to just handshake the Dragon and the Herald. Is that typically if an Ornn TP's right there, he just presses his R key, right? And you know, it's a pretty big deal. It's not what Ornn's necessarily always picked for, but it's a big part of Ornn's kit. But if he's TPing into Yasuo Braum, he might as well just not cast his R key, and that's exactly what he didn't do. So Ornn TPing in that situation isn't exactly the scariest champion in the world. You would imagine he's going to actually struggle to find any kind of engage for a while. He kind of has to let the Zac and the Rakan take the lead on the engages and kind of be layered CC or just delayed re-engage. He really just has to wait out both of the cooldowns. And I mean, Dano and Alspooks don't really have too much else to windle, right? Like, it's pretty much just the feathers out of the Xayah, so it's like they can just hold on to those cooldowns and never really use it for anything else. So
a one or the other situation.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't both have to use it at the same time. So
yeah, so Joe's gonna have a rough time finding initial engages, like how we saw Fat Wambo find ult after ult after ult as the bot lane duo lifting the cup, and that very well could be them come the end of the UKEL split. Winning out on the tournament, of course. Frio, the only team to have not lost, I want to say. Unless there is a team that is 4-0, but I don't think there is, so I think Absolved still the only team without a loss on their record.
Yeah.
You still have to think, there is a lot of scaling on... Oh, okay. Regan taking a lot of damage.
Yeah,
has to flash away.
Yeah. Which is fair.
Yeah, which is definitely fair. If he didn't flash away, he probably would have lost his life right there, but... As I was saying, you can't really ignore the innate scaling in Absolved's draft, and they do a really good job of front-to-back team fights, and NSG really kind of want to do the same thing, whereas Absolved probably have the better tools to do it, at least in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see if NSG can't pull a bigger gold lead than they do, how things will pan out, let's say, 10 minutes from now, when Azir hopefully has a second item completed. And the Rakan also, as looking onto Karthus.
Yeah, getting a bit greedy for the blue, for the, just the damage in general. Obviously still around. He'll come through to save Regan. Yes, it will. Tyron on the back end also able to get away. So a nice, easy kill and an easy escape from the rest of the boys. A little bit spent, but they'll be happy with that. Obviously the jungle pressure being down. However, a bit of a dive attempt by the looks of things. The flash into the fissure is not ideal at all. Dano going to get locked up. Dano going to get shut down. That's not gone to plan. Bane God's like, sorry lads, but I'm out. Oh no, that's not great. The idea is there, and it could have been massive, but they played it quite well, and they split, and it's not over yet, because apparently the set is still involved, has to flash away.
There you go.
But immediately just turns around and starts running back into them, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, so...
a lot of confident plays coming in there.
Confident is one word. There's a few words going through my mind right now, which...
There's a fine line,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say those on broadcast.
Yeah, between bravery and stupidity, I think is the saying.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure what was going through the minds of NSG, if anything at all, going for a 4v5 dive. I suppose I can see the idea in it, as Tyron actually finds the stretching strike.
Be a bit careful here. I mean, we're getting a replay in.
Getting a replay. I don't think anything was going to happen in that play anyway. And I mean, everything just goes wide. Glacial Fissure, Tornado. Go even finds the Emperor's Divide back in.
Yeah, a really good one, actually. Barrier saves him, even exhausted. You know,
Absolved actually responds really well to the dive. So I should give them a little bit of credit.
Right?
Because if I see that dive going on, I'm kind of confused. It's one of those things where it's such an odd dive that you would maybe be confused and it works. But execution wasn't there for NSG, so they just end up basically throwing their lives on the tower. And does give a little bit of gold back into the pockets of Absolved. And you have to remember now, NSG on Dragon Point. So, looking for an engage. This could be big.
Oh god, another fight to come through. I mean, they're just kind of goon squadding around at the moment. Down goes Karthus, down goes Alspooks. Big damage as everybody's around. Karthus trying to find something in his passive form, but unfortunately not able to do so. I mean, yeah, again, just like so much scrapping going on, and where there's one, there's three, right? You've really got to be careful here on the side of NSG. They just keep getting caught off by the old classic death brush.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really big deal for Absolved, stopping NSG from securing the Mountain Insult. Got there in the end. You know, in my head, and I could just be galaxy braining a little bit too hard for my own good, on the current trend, and I mean, they should have just taken it anyway, so I'm just going to preface it with that. I wonder how they would have felt about letting them get the soul just to make Elder spawn sooner, because I feel like come that 6-minute mark, Absolved could, you know, actually win a fight at this point, because they're slowly starting to get to iron spikes, right? I feel like gold is probably, you know, 1.8-ish K. I don't know, I can't remember the last time he based. So, okay, I'm gonna have to hold that because NSG on Baron.
Oh yeah, they're just running straight into it, and they don't have the Azir. Certainly could be awkward here. It's down to 4k, and I mean, it gets absolutely melted by this Karthus, right? So yeah, that'll be a Baron secured, and also the Ornhorn stopped there by Alspooks. May not have caught it on the back end, but there will be no big Horn engage. Trading 1-for-1 so far. Gould and Thomas Go going to focus out the Karthus. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Bane God trying to take down the tanks. Not quite going to work out. Requiem won't be enough to take out the Ornn. It's so close. It is so close with the burn as well from the Leandries.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not quite.
Yeah, not quite. Even pops the pot just to be a little more secure about it. But, yeah. Also something to note, I've just realized that Jojo has 2 Sunfire Capes.
Oh. Is this perhaps just like, I don't know, there's an awful lot of AD. Obviously, you've got the Karthus, so it'd be nice to get some MR for him, but like, to stop the Vayne particularly, I think it's something like, it doesn't Sunfire Cape give like so much. It's like 500 HP, isn't it? Off
yeah, it's a lot for the
Forge Fire Cape. Yeah.
But I'm unsure about like the maths behind it. The Karthus is definitely going to rip through him. But I feel like he's comfortable tanking up everyone else as... Oh. Is this the moment he did it? Or is... Okay.
Very interesting.
Very, very interesting. So
he just went straight for it, eh? It's not like it was really
I can get behind the raw stats it gives, but when you've got an Azir... And I mean, you know, Zac deals some damage. I feel like you're really happy picking up an Abyssal Mask.
Yeah.
So...
It's definitely curious.
It's a curious pickup.
It's the Leandries here as well, right? There's no Oblivion Orb out from...
Yeah. Oh, hello.
There probably will be
Engage
eventually.
again.
That is a max range engage. Let's Bounce is pretty big as well. Going to zone off half the team. They're not quite feeling it. Sweet flashes straight into the Horn. Right. Oh, that's a nasty one. The Horn comes out. I mean...
But you can see right there, right?
Oh, unlucky.
Jojo's not tanky versus Karthus.
Yeah, no,
he got
for
clipped
sure.
by 2 Qs and lost around 700 HP in total. So, he definitely wants to stay away from Dano.
Uh-oh. Disco Dano once again, seemingly going to fall flat to the Goon Squad. We'll see, this could be big. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the knock-up for the last breath, but, you know, gets an awful lot from them. Almost there is able to turn that into something special. However, you have to look towards, you know, mid. They get a tower. He also gets the tower himself. So in the grand scheme, giving away the 1 kill is not really the end of the world.
No, it's not the end of the world. It was a shutdown. Can't remember the last time I saw Dano die, bar that dive, so I want to say it had decent value in it. But it did cost them their mid-tier 2 tower. But I suppose when Absolved are engaging from miles away, the closer NSG are to Absolved's base, they're happy. True. So, you know, it's pros and cons of that one there, but I'm starting to get a little bit worried about this Karthus' positioning now, because this is not the first time that Tyron's actually managed to get a max range engage on him, or just Karthus in general. Swede just kind of been a little bit overconfident. So definitely has to watch himself. He's not invincible by any means.
Oh goodness, boys, can we stop? I mean, they don't engage there, but it's like so many of these members of NSG, just walking in on their own. Right. Bro, I'm just about able to make it out.
Spooks is really limit testing right now. That's how I feel about.
But it's like, I feel like at this point they've been caught enough times, they've got to be savvy to the fact that it's like, you know, like I said earlier, where there's 1 Absolved member, there's 3. Like, you can't really be walking into the enemy jungle on your own. Ooh. It's kind of lucky to get away there, actually.
But Jojo just gave Gould his Molten Edge right there, just on the side of your screen. And Go also has the upgraded Death Cap. I know it's not on screen right now, but engage.
Ooh, massive slingshot as well. The Ornhorn going to be stopped. Pretty good. Tyrion in on the back side of things. Alspooks is the one to take down Rakan. It seems to be going well here. The Karthus as well, you know, dead in the middle of the team, so he's perfectly happy with that. The Requiem's come in. Down goes Jojo. Surely. Oh, no, he's actually able to survive. Yes, just about by the skin of the skin of the skin of the skin of his teeth. Literally like 10 HP on and on.
Yeah, it was really close. I wonder if he's... he can't TP back in to stop this. He's gonna be the Mountain Soul going over to NSG. And yeah, I mean, again, Tyron takes the long range engage as Vanguard finally picks up the kill credit on the dragon. And I mean, alright, now Jojo's making me worry a little bit. Because now he has the catalyst in his inventory. And you know, maybe it's just a strat I'm not privy to, right? So I'm not gonna mock it now. But I mean, he kind of needed the MR earlier, and the damage amp, giving that to an Azir as powerful as this, and I mean, again, like Zac, you know, he deals enough damage that the amplification can, you know, be handy, but not like noticeable, not like how it would be noticeable on the Azir. It's quite strange, and also I kind of want to call out the fact that Go opted into the Oblivion Spooks, guys. He needs some help. Alright.
Yeah, once again, gonna get caught out. We'll see what this results in. Oh, Vanguard gonna move forwards and find a solo kill, essentially, onto the Zarya. Huge suplex as well into the middle of the team. Vanguard is gonna go down, but not before she gets another kill. Massive stuff coming in. Bjorn will get one, but the TP coming in from the set. Tyron the only one left here, and he is absolutely miles away, so... Inhib, Baron... Maybe a bit more as well, to be fair.
Seems like the shout.
Actually, without the Vayne, I suppose it might take them a while to do this Baron. So
yeah, but they've got Karthus and Yasuo, so it's not going to take a stupid long amount of time, as Tyron's going to do his best to dissuade, but I think he recognizes the situation. Inhib's going to drop ever so slowly. And, you know, there's honestly maybe an argument for saying NSG could have potentially have run bot and ended the game right there. Death time was really long. I mean, they finished Baron now, and the members of Absolved are only now respawning.
Yeah, it's definitely the safer play of the two.
It's the safer play of the two for sure, yeah. So you'd imagine, being that they've had quite a troubling early few games, that play just feels for them. They feel more confident picking up the Baron, during the stats on that, getting the inhib bot, and then just playing off the two lanes. And I can't blame them. Can't blame them. The Absolved lineup really does thrive on mayhem, really, in front to back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Certainly say that again.
Can say that again for sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll see here though, with the Baron secured and the Mountain Soul as well. Elder only 3 minutes out here, so it's starting to look good for NSG. We do have a pause coming through.
We do have a pause.
I won't be waiting too long for that, but
hopefully not.
Okay.
So being told that Dano has the seed, so hopefully he has that issue resolved as soon as possible.
Okay.
But talking about the way the game is set up right now, NSG with the Baron, I want to say a 10k gold lead off the top of my head. It's a big lead, but NSG, primarily unknown Swede, to be totally honest with you, has found himself in some peculiar positions, so maybe Tyron can find another long-range engage on top of him. I mean, even Ausbooks has looked a little bit suspicious in the past few minutes. So NSG, now that they have the control of the game, they just need to slowly sort of push this Baron lead. They've got the bottom inhib. They don't really have to do too much. Just corral these waves in to the mid and top side and let the supers do their job. On the flip side, Absolved, I still feel like they can find good fights, but it has to come off of the back of Wombo. And when you think about that, you kind of have to look towards the Azir. And other than that initial bot lane fight, Azir's not had insane walls. They haven't been bad by any means. I'm not trying to flame Go, but definitely not as much as that first highlight are. As we are back into game, Dano has returned.
Indeed. But yeah, certainly I think as well, now that we're starting to get into, the heavy late game, and it's like a position that NSG find themselves in where it's like, okay, we can actually win this. There's maybe an argument to be made that, where there's chaos, you sort of want to get involved. It does look like they want to engage here, though. Well, that damage is absolutely massive from Karthus onto Gould there.
Yeah, Gould needs MR or life still, like really soon.
Yeah. Okay, trying to force a fight out here. The Ornhorn going to be stopped. Important check-in takes out Gould pretty easily. Azir going to go down as well. He does find one. Rojo Joe, I mean, they're not really bothered about killing him with the Baron available and, the bot side wave coming up. This will be pretty much all she wrote, unless, they do something crazy, which this game is not too foreign to, but no, at this point, they are just going to play it how you should, finish it off, and my goodness, Gerardo, what an interesting ending game to the day. I think Absolved, there is, like we say, an argument to be made, playing a bit crazy, playing their own game, doing what they want, but it's kind of like they didn't rein it in soon enough. And then they suddenly found themselves in a position where they were like, actually, maybe we can't pull it back now. Kind of let it.
I want to say the issue might have been Tyron spending the first 5 minutes of the game on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah. And there's a few things you can look to, right?
And then maybe dying to Krog's that wasn't too great either. But when you spend that much time, and you're Zac, right? You're a slow clearing jungler versus a champion like Karthus, where he's got so much tempo and he's just going to clear 10 times faster than you ever will. You have to just secure your camps. And like I said, prior to like the jungle pathing sort of kicking off, I thought that both the junglers would just go for full clears, right? Zac isn't really a champion that wants to get down and dirty early on that at level 3. He wants level 4, he wants level 5, he wants the range and the elastic slingshot to actually make ganks a little more consistent. But they didn't do that. They opted to hard camp the bot lane, which for the life of me, I kind of just don't understand the game plan. Anyway I try and spin it, it's kind of curious decision making. So Absolved definitely going to have to just look at themselves on this one and kind of just try and understand what they were going for, and hopefully on the bounce they have slightly better execution than that, because I have to praise their draft. Their draft was really good. They definitely picked towards what they wanted to do, and it was long-range engage with front-to-back team fighting, and they had the carries to do it. But at the end of the day, the wackier and slightly unorthodox draft again of NSG is what ends up being the superior, and NSG end up taking the game in, I want to say, around 32 minutes. So that's kind of all she wrote. I'm kind of
it's a really peculiar one.
Like I said, I didn't see NSG ever really winning this game, but
yeah, the straight up theory just doesn't really match the execution, right? It's very, very strange. Before we go, of course, I'm going to ask you for an MVP, although I think it is maybe obvious at this point. Although it's kind of weird, right? Because it's like the Karthus, you can look to the damage, you can look to the early game, but then he really gave them a chance back into the game with the amount of times that he was just getting caught out, right?
Yeah, so, I want to say, hey, look at the damage chart, right? Karthus dealt 4 times the amount Yasuo did. But he got caught out so many times. I'm just going to give it to Vanguard, all right? I can't...
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't think I'll be able to rest easy tonight if I give MVP to Karthus. Swede. He just walked too far forwards too many times. Vanguard, despite having a slightly curious early game, he definitely found the execution later on, and once he had the items, you could see it's the reason why he's called Vanguard. He's very happy to be playing it.
Indeed. A very peculiar game to finish off on. But Absolved, finally, they do bleed. They suffer their first loss at the hands of NSG, and maybe, are going to walk away from this one and be like, right, let's perhaps tone down the craziness next week. But that, of course, is going to be it from us here for this week. We will be back same time next week. There is also the pre-show on a Sunday, so do be sure with Big Man Joe, of course, the fantastic producer that you've seen all the wonderful stuff from this evening. So do be sure to tune into that as well. But yeah, we'll be back at the same time next week, 6 o'clock. We'll see you then. Adios.